I don't remember reading my paper on the tachistoscopes, but I certainly remember reading about the derivation of the two principal quantum access technologies that had been evolved by 1967-68. So let me chart those. The first was the teleporter, which was the Tesla device that they derived from his papers and set up at Curtiss-Wright. It basically creates a vortal tunnel in time-space and allows you to go from one point to another in the time-space continuum almost instantaneously. The second major area of technical development that was being undertaken by Project Pegasus were devices called CHRONOVISORs. Are you familiar with those, Mel?
Yes.
I think I'm sure that you've seen some writing about them. I'm not the first to report about them. Basically,
well, why don't you tell the audience? Yes.
Yeah. Well, basically, the chronovisor is a device that propagates a hologram, basically a dense field of light that is so dense that it has among its properties the ability to have a lensing effect, where an event that is going on somewhere in the quantum hologram on a non-local basis is brought into the laboratory. So that if you're standing in the laboratory when this hologram is generated and you're standing outside the hologram, you can look into the hologram in this form of sort of cubical three-dimensional cinema and see a past or future event going on. But if you stand on the stage of the chronovisor when the hologram is tuned in around you, then you experience a form of virtual time travel where you are in that place and you can interact with the people of that time and place. So that was the second major area of technical development that they were experimenting.
It might be that reality is very different to this three-dimensional view of the universe, and that'd be
one of the surprising consequences of string theory is that you reach the conclusion that there have to be extra dimensions in the universe.
If the LHC is lucky enough to penetrate with its very high energy inside these points that contain extra dimensions, then a complete new field opens up of possible new discoveries.
You're looking at 12,000 tons of metal and electronics, which have been put together with a precision of 5 microns. That's 5/1000th of a millimeter. And it's taken many companies, hundreds of universities and research institutes, and thousands of scientists and engineers to put these precision instruments together.
The detectors like CMS and Atlas arguably constitute the most complicated apparatus that science has ever seen.
We could make a complete series of new particles. We could make wormholes, which are little holes in space-time in which you can go from one point in space and time to another point in space and time, so that you could travel to another time.
The Hadron Collider in Geneva and the Fermilab Collider in Illinois, one of the functions, or what they're really doing there, is merging our reality with other realities where the Illuminati have won and already are in total power and control. That's the real experiment that they're doing.